Yo, Crypto Nation and mining family, what is going on? What up, what up, what up? All you happy hashers out there. I know it's been a minute since I've pressed live on this channel. I know. I've been such a slacker. An absolute slacker. But as we all know, life gets in the way from time to time, and I'm trying to juggle all my obligations and all that good stuff. What's up, Crypto Padel? Showing that love, smashing that lizard like button. My man, I can always count on you. You come in clutch with that lizard like button every time. I love it. So, kind of speed everybody up why I've taken a small, teeny tiny hiatus. Things at my how can I put it? I just changed jobs. So we'll just put it. We'll start it off like that. I just changed jobs. Things were getting, not so much like stressful, but I was like kind of like in negotiation with a friend of mine and everything, feeling him out where he was at with bringing me on board with his new shop. So I'm still a mechanic. I haven't changed that. So basically, long story short is my good friend bought a shop, and his son was supposed to be his mechanic, still is, and he had another part-time mechanic that's there but on medical leave right now. So basically, his son and his other mechanic are both on medical leave at the same time. Now, the one mechanic is just a part-time. He works like 4 hours. That's about it. And then he rents out some bays and works on some of the people's cars in the community. Trying to talk him out of doing that moving forward and letting us rip with all the bays. I mean, until we have enough business where I can actually make that push, that's where my mindset is. But it's a newer building and on a prime location with great traffic going between two different towns, so perfect. It is a main road to go into these two towns, to be able to even get to the highway. They gotta go past our shop, so great location. Just got to get the word out that we exist and that we do quality work. That's always step one. Step two is just going to be, making sure that, we continue a good reputation and all that good stuff, and being able to get cars in and out. And then hopefully my buddy's kid comes back, and then we'll have two mechanics back, two decent mechanics back there that are full timers. And we'll be able to turn and burn cars 100%. It will be so much better. What's up, Sheen? It's just the beginning. That's what I'm thinking too. Oh. Uh-oh. Hold on, guys. The Wi-Fi's calling. This may be important, so hold on. I gotta mute this. Car troubles with the Wi-Fi. It's been a small little problem that I've noticed for a while, and I'm hoping it's not what I think it is, which is going to be trans problem. I freaking hope not. So yeah, hopefully it's not a trans problem, because yeah, that just means that that car is like I'm thinking it's on its last leg at that point. I'm not wanting to deal with that thing having a trans problem. So yeah. Hopefully I can and it's really rough to sit there and figure out what's going on with it also, because it's not even throwing check engine lights or nothing. I mean, it's acting like nothing's wrong, and it just stumbles and dies out of freaking nowhere. And it did that ever since the battery died on it. So I think I might have to bring my scanner home and see if there's anything in history or something to give me a clue of what's going on with it. But anywho, hopefully she makes it home safely. Last thing we need to do is have another expense. So anyway, yeah, I mean, so I've changed jobs over here, and hopefully now I'm kind of going to settle in here, a little bit of a less stressful environment where basically I'm the lead mechanic. I'm running the place, so it's pretty good. Wifey gets new car when Bull Run. Right, exactly. Yeah. I mean, if her car's gonna break down, man, let it be in a Bull Run so we can cash in some crypto on that. Yeah, that's hilarious. Talking about like bull runs and stuff like that. Let's get into it. Let's get into things that I haven't talked about in a hot freaking minute. You guys, don't forget to smash that Lizzie like button, subscribe, bell notification, all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and dig in. Let's see if I can remember how to hit the buttons. Yo, but my camera is off. There you go. Bam. There we go. So the S&P 500 trading out sideways. I mean, this is a huge market. This your top performing 500 companies all into one fund, trading for $5,200. The Nasdaq 100 trading at 18,000. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, you're looking at about 39,000. Japan, which is the Nikkei 225, their market is up, but that is a heavily manipulated market. You really can't sit there and trust any of that stuff. What up, John Germain? My man, what's up? You can't trust the Nikkei at all as any kind of a measurement, because Japan actually heavily manipulates the market and does price suppression. So that is not a good metric, and that's why you won't see very big swings on there. They try to cap the market as soon as it makes too big of a move. They can't have it do bad, but they can't have it do too good. They have to have it play within the margin, because they owe too much in debt, and that has been a problem that they've been combating for the longest time, to try to make sure that the people of Japan don't feel their mistake. Unfortunately, it also robs economic prosperity from them at the same time. And then you got Britain and Great Britain. They're doing quantitative easing. They've already ripped back into that real quick. Quantitative easing, dropping interest rates to stimulate the economy. and it's not going to do too good for them because of the amount of money they also owe. Stocks, Apple's going to do, I mean, your big ones are always going to be your top performers: Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, Tesla, Microsoft. I mean, these are going to be your absolute top performers because that's what everybody's looking at. As big markets surrounding these industries. So I mean, it's like you can get into this, but you're looking at more longer term holds that the money that where you're buying in is either going to continue to go up or the stock's going to split, or you're looking for dividends. Is the company paying you dividends, or are you just kind of buying the stock and holding on to it and hoping that either the stock goes up in value and you're able to sell it, or you're waiting for a stock split? This way you get more of it. So it's like that is a different strategy of investing in traditional markets, is actually playing with the exact stock that you want to play with. Now, if you're keen to it, some people can make money on it, but these markets don't move huge dollars, so your swings aren't that big. Like my mom got into Tesla very early, and she got it before Tesla's stock split. Tesla stock was trading for like $1,000 a share. She had a bunch of it when Tesla decided to do a stock split and cut the value in half because they diluted the market. That what they were trying to do is they were making it easier for people to buy into Tesla, but still maintaining the original shareholders' value. So it's kind of like diluting, it's straight up diluting the market, just like how the government prints dollars. And I believe all of them have done it at one point in time. That's where it's kind of nice getting into the S&P 500 if you're able to afford that, the NASDAQ or the Dow Jones, because you're getting into a basket of goods. You can do there's tech stock ones where you have Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy in with ARK Investment, some of the biggest Bitcoin mining firms out. I mean, not mining, investing firms out there. So, I mean, there are many, many ways of being involved with Bitcoin and not being directly involved in Bitcoin. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're looking at, how can I diversify, if you're looking to have small diversifications in what you're holding on to. But, we're all here for Bitcoin. We all know that. What the hell has Bitcoin been doing? So if you're part of DCA Adventure, you might have the DCA oscillator that our man Variant made for us. And if you wanted to have access to this, you have to be a Patreon member over there to get that. I know, shameless shill. But basically, it started the data that was coming in was starting to see a little bit of a rollover in the market, and at some point in time, kind of indicated that it was definitely in for a small correction. Now, whenever it prints out the red dots up over here, those are usually your selling positions. So if you were ready to sell something, these would be great times because you're maybe not at the absolute peak, but at least you were waiting for it to have enough data in that it was saying it's going to roll over. So we've been definitely looking like we've been trying to roll over here, and it kind of did a little free fall afterwards. And now we're watching the 200-day moving average cross over. This is called a death cross for anybody that is new here. So we're looking at, it's like we have a hammer. We're going into a spinning top, so the market has a lot of indecisiveness. It definitely tried to push upward. The wick on this candle for today is higher than yesterday's high. Right, I do believe I have this on the day. Yeah, okay. So these are definitely on the day. So our wick was higher than yesterday's highest wick. So the market wants to push back up, but there is a lot of selling pressure. We did come off of an all-time high, guys. 72,000. Depending on what market you might have seen, maybe up to 73,000. I did see 73,000, but I was just like, oh, wow, nice. Nice. Smash the thumbs up button for that. You just be like, nice. So we're definitely looking at a market that's still. It's hard to say if the market ran out of momentum. Was that all the ETF had for us? Is that all the money that was about ready to come trading back in? Now, I mean, if you look at it, the S&P 500 here, since what, about, let's see, this is probably about noon UTC -5 time, so I think that's Eastern time. So it was trading at 51.75 and it closed out at 52.24. So the money came flooding into the traditional market. So it's not like there's no money here. I mean, here, same thing over here with the NASDAQ 100. Right around that same time, money came pouring into the traditional stock market. Wow, that's actually kind of interesting when you kind of look at it. Here you have, I mean, but this has been set up for a few days. So you're looking at the 14th was right where the market started becoming a little indecisive. But right back here on the 2nd is whenever the oscillator, DC oscillator, said this might be a great time to sell, make some profit. I mean, this isn't mining advice. This isn't financial advice. I mean, I don't do that shit. I'm just talking out my, you know what? I don't know anything. I'm just a YouTuber. So you could. It's like one of those things of like, you don't have to absolutely catch the top of something, but being in a safe enough zone that you're like, hey, you know what? I'm in profit. Why not take some of this profit right off the table here and kind of hold on to it right here on the sideline? And then wait, do I have a position in Tether right now? Hell yeah, brother. Am I going to tell you how much I got in Tether? Nope. But I did transfer into Tether here to kind of, because Tether's going to try to hold closest to $1. So why not hedge the market a little bit with Tether and kind of wait for these little moves here and be like, you know what? As soon as the market stops moving and looks like it's found a footing, I'll sit there and go back into that sweet fizzy Bitcoin. And if it kind of rips up a little bit, big deal. Whatever. At least I'm trying to hedge it. You win. Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug, right? So I mean, there's no trader out there that's gonna be 100% accurate on all their trades. There's no gurus out there. So anybody's claiming to be a guru, that's red flag 1. They might have good information on being able to read charts, and you can learn a lot from them, but there is no guru. Any good trader should tell you the same thing. Be like, hey, look, you may trade a little bit here and there. There are pitfalls in there. You are going to learn them, and you learn them fast. Swing trading, day trading, you're going to get wrecked. That's just the simplicity of it. But if you see a big overtime movement, I'm not talking days, hours, weeks. I'm talking months. I've been watching Bitcoin go up in the pricing. you know, since the whole FTX crash back here. I've been watching it come up, and I'm like, oh, this is nice, little simple, little growth. And then what? Back on October 15th, it starts going on this like huge run up, and then right at February 6th, it just takes off like a rocket. This was what I did not want to see, was this rocketing up, because it's just going to come back down. You're going to have people at a certain point in time, they're going to take profit. It's going to put a huge selling pressure down. Everybody that had basically bought into Bitcoin, except those people that bought at 72 to 71,000, 69,000, you know, from above where we're at right now, they're not in profit right now. Oh, this is a bunch of people that were like, oh my God, I'm finally in profit. Let me get out. This is people thinking, oh my God, this is Lambo. You know, somebody could have looked at that as a life-changing event, and it cascades sell-offs. But we also need good pullbacks. So in my opinion, I think this is just a little skip in the road. It'll recover. How far will it go down? I'll guarantee you it's not going to go down below 20,000. I'll guarantee that. Because of the ETF. And that would be my argument on why we would never see below 20,000. Can it dip that? Sure. But I don't think that, you know, you're going to see as a buying moment a $20,000 and below $20,000 Bitcoin, unless you're the lucky character that had a sell order that gets fulfilled if we have a quick wick all the way down. And what would cascade a quick wick? And the reason why I say a wick is that you would basically be seeing longs being liquidated. And that, you know, that negatively affects prices of Bitcoin. Unless the longs sit there and cover the spread. So, I mean, you know, when you're shorting and longing a price of any stock or crypto, you're basically gambling that which direction that the price is going to go over a specific period of time. And if it trends the wrong direction too far away from your starting point, you get liquidated and your Bitcoin gets sold. And that usually accounts for a long, quick-ass wick. And then it comes right back up because, as a lot of people would say, for every seller, there's a buyer on the other end. Somebody has to be buying it. So, with that being stated, you know, you're not going to see anything more than a quick wick unless the ETF falls apart for Bitcoin. Then we'll see a price diminishing off of this. 53.50 is the bottom you feel, Goodell. That could be a good one. I mean, you'd be basically splitting because, like, how can I put it? Before we took the huge run up here, we were at 26,000, right? And realistically, the body of the highest wick was about $72,000, right? So 26 to 72,000. You know, a good middle ground on that. If I were to take middle ground on something, we can be at 50,000. To 44,000. We can bounce into that range. Yo, what's up, son of a rabish? Got those 22s. What up? coming in representing with 22. What's up? What's up? So I can see, I can honestly see that you might be on the higher end, Bedell. Maybe you have a little, maybe it might be a little optimistic to only fall back a little bit. Now, I think that would be in. It depends on how much selling pressure we continue to have, because even for today, we're still in a big selling pressure. There's still a lot of sell orders on the books here. Let me see if I can pull up an exchange market value on this. Hold on one moment, guys. Been a while since I've pulled this up. Well, let's see if it'll load nicely. No, that's not the one that I. Where is it? I know. I think the pricing that we're having is just. I don't think it's gonna be a long-lived bottom out. I mean, I honestly think 100K is not off the books by the end of summer. Looks like whatever, the original bookmark that I had to be able to look at this stuff is not there anymore. Place to be able to just do it yourself. I remember that AmCharts, you can actually you can actually code it in and run code and watch the live data on it. Must have to sit there. The one that I used to look at isn't there. Wow. Oh, here's a good one. All right. Oop. Have to call you back. All right. So go ahead and bam. So you can sit there and see this nice sell wall here that's basically been coming up, and in the short term, there's a good amount of sell orders going off. That's been outpacing the buy orders as of right now. But you can see even in this chart that the buy orders, there's a lot of buying orders. So if we can keep that up, that'll be huge. It will outpace the sell orders over time. The sell orders are, there's only going to be so many sell orders before, all the true Bitcoiners have basically either bought it all up or the ETFs are buying it all up. So I don't really see any way that Bitcoin's really going to drop, in my opinion. Realistically, I couldn't justify it below 26,000. That would be my opinion. But at 26,000, that's still a great buy. So I wouldn't be heartbroken if we saw a $26,000 Bitcoin from here. Bitcoin's notorious for having huge pullbacks after meteoric rises like this. We've done a triple top, guys. We have put in 3 tops. Each one being higher than the last. First time in a 4-year period. This is amazing. Great times to live in. Okay. Now my cat's like being all pitiful. Hilarious. Pepe, what are you doing? He's like sitting back there singing. Now that I call out his name, he stops. Like, I didn't need anything. I didn't need anything. All right. Of course, my other favorite thing to look at, we got the U.S. debt clock. Since the beginning of last year, we've put in $2 trillion, over $2 trillion in national debt. And just let that sink in. They're spending money faster than and they're giving it away to all the immigrants coming in because they've got to be able to feed them, house them, and be able to monitor them as they go through the legal system. And then there's just like a whole bunch of just stupid stuff that's just going on. Money going out for wars we can't afford. And I have a whole rant on that one. You know, it's like they're basically flooding the market with immigrants into the United States to actually try to artificially lower the price of labor because our labor is getting too expensive with the currencies that we're currently using. So they're trying to flood the market with more workers than the U.S. can handle, artificially drop pricing because now you don't got to sit there and bid out everybody else for quality laborers. You can now pay out pennies to the dollar, and nobody will be able to afford anything in the United States because inflation is still out of control. And of course, Janet Yellen just admitted that, oh, by the way, we were wrong at the Federal Reserve, guys. We made an oopsie. Just a little oopsie. And little old grandma was like, inflation's not transitory, it's here to stay. Yep. That happened too. So now you can sit there, bet your ass that the US dollar is toxic, it's poison. There's no reason for any other country to actually hold on to the US dollar. And as they sit there and dump their bonds, you're going to see that the US is just going to get worse and worse and worse. It's hilarious. So they're going to be basically calculating all this stuff out, trying to figure out how to balance this off so that the American people don't just get absolutely obliterated. And realistically, the only way to get this under control at this point is they've got to be able to stimulate the economy by having, near 0% interest rates, which means that it doesn't matter if you pay back your debt or not. The debt can stay on your books indefinitely. Right? I mean, if there's no interest rate, I mean, you could just sit there and be like, yeah, we'll pay you when we get around to it. Oh, by the way, can we borrow a few million more while we're at it? I'll pay you back, I swear. And they're just going to offload all this debt onto these corporations, the corporations will be holding the debt, not the United States. It's going to be a magic trick that you guys are going to we're probably going to see in our lifetime. And what will it do to the price of Bitcoin? Because you know what, the honey badger don't give a fuck, right? So we're going to see Bitcoin price actually in US dollars shoot up even higher, because there's nothing's changed fundamentally with Bitcoin. There's just more buyers. Hey babe, good to see you made it home. Hashtag cats of crypto, yes. Like, yep, Gene, there's usually a dip before the halvening. Historically, there is. What's up, Sadie? What up, what up? Yep, I am live. I almost forgot how to do this on this channel. So, yeah, we're... and they're talking about forgiving, you know, student loan debt. That is an absolute joke. You know, you're looking at $1.7 billion in student loan debt. Man, I had to pay off my debt. My wife had to pay off her debt. That's bullshit. Stop getting liberal arts degrees that have no job career lined up for it. What'd you specialize in? I specialized in watching The Simpsons and analyzing it. Get the hell out of here. You get a usable career. Most of it you don't even need to go to school for. You can just start working. Construction, automotive, just saying. Chuck Danger, it's not a conspiracy theory if it's true. I know. It's like all these liberal arts degrees, that's like a big portion of the student loan debt. Is people taking debt in to get a career that could not pay back the loan in a feasible timeline. These are the people that are screaming about it right now. You know, it's like, it took me 9-ish years to pay off my student loans. You know, it's like this was debt that I took on, not that I tried to weasel out of, and I tried to pick a career that would make me money. Wife took out a debt, she's a nurse. You know? And the colleges need to be like sitting there and being incentivized to make sure that their graduating class can actually get a career. It's hilarious. I know, skilled trades for the win, 100%. It's like, sure, get a degree in coding, get a degree in you know, robotics, whatever, you know, something that's actually usable. But if you're not in an area where they have any kind of robotics, why get a career in that unless you have a way to get into that field? You know, it's like not everybody gets out on top at, you know, it's like for the mechanic field, the creme de la creme is working for like Bugatti, Ferrari and stuff like that. You know, not everybody can work there. Doesn't matter how good of a student you are. Period. Like, Gene, I did. I became a mechanic. Hell yeah, brother. I got a degree in the opportunity of hard knocks. Hell yeah. You know, these students need to sit there and learn the same way. And bailing them out doesn't help them. You know, it's like the old adage says, you know, bring a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime, right? We need to be doing that. And, oh my God, like, I didn't even, like, this chart just added something here. I didn't even see it. I was just, like, looking down here. U.S. trade deficit in China. Thousands, millions, $277 billion in trade deficit to China. Let's see here. Millions, billions, trillions. We have $8.2 trillion held by foreign U.S. debt held by foreign countries. U.S. is importing what? Let's see here. Billions, $252 billion in oil, in U.S. imported oil. Imported, not making our own energy. We have all the energy we need. Let's see. Oh, wow. War defense. This is a new one. Let's see here. $868 billion in war defense. Nice. That's a good one. Let's see here. $787 billion of interest debt on the net principal. Holy crap. They're not going to be able to tax their way out of this one. There's not enough people in the United States that could possibly earn a high enough living and be taxed enough to get the debt down. Even if the United States floods the market with all these illegal immigrants, the illegal immigrants will have a negative effect on the market because it's going to drop market value of labor. Therefore, the earnings of labor becomes cheaper, therefore less taxes. They just haven't felt the ramifications of what they've just done. Just wait. It's going to get bad, guys. Really bad. Nice. Woodworking is not a bad craft either, man. Like, I'm not sure where you're from, but there's areas in the United States that have Amish people. And they make some of the finest handcrafted wood furniture. Oh, amazing stuff. You make it on the level of the way that the Amish people do it, man. Kudos. So, I mean, like, it's almost going to be to a point where, like, you're not going to, like, if you guys don't start figuring out how to do, like, homesteading at home, you're going to have a big issue. Like, checking out RN Homesteading on YouTube, which is me and my wife's new channel. You guys should go check it out. You know, open up a new tab. If you get into homesteading, you know, looking at, you know, learning about chickens, learning how to grow your food, how to make your starter seed mix, and all that good stuff. I'm in the process of doing some video editing to actually start dropping some videos because I've got stuff already recorded. I'm just like trying to get caught up on like editing and stuff while having a work life and trying to do DCA Adventure and here too. So Ontario, Canada. Nice. But yeah, I mean, like, down here in the United States, we have Amish people. They're Pennsylvania Dutch. So, but it's like the old order Amish. They are stuck in that timeline. No modern equipment, nothing. Everything's done by hand, the way that the good Lord intended. An honest day's pay for an honest day's work. You know, they make some of the finest freaking furniture out there. Drop a link for the other channel. Hold on a momento. Un momento, por favor. Let's see here. Copy. Hey, what up, Ark? Pasta. So there, if you guys are interested in like learning about gardening and all that good stuff, so you can start becoming self-sufficient. It's one of the things that I've actually learned about this crypto community is that you're in the crypto community long enough, your natural progression is to start learning about self-efficiency. Because you're already trying to learn to be self-efficient with your money. I mean, yes, you can gamble a little bit here and there. And you'll be able to sit there and make some really, it's like, how can I put it? You'll be able to make some good money gambling in the crypto market. But over time, your natural progression will be a hodler mindset and learning how to preserve your wealth. And in that learning how to preserve your wealth, that's when you start going down the rabbit hole of being self-efficient. Oh, wow. If I'm getting screwed over by my money, what about the food that's at the supermarket? That's a lot of that stuff's garbage food. Absolutely garbage. And, it's like you can sit there and make yourself healthier by actually having your own stuff. I mean, I got chickens. I'm like in the process of like a big old garden. If you see my door here, you see how it's like lit up all over there. It's like a kind of like a pink. That's my grow lights for all of my seedlings that I've got going, and I got more seedlings to start planting. And I've got lettuce right now, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. Yeah. But that's all now being pushed over onto RN Homesteading. So if you guys are looking for updates on that, certainly give a subscribe. Give a subscribe over there if you like that kind of content. Love to have you there. It's like the only real food is own food, right? 100% son of a rabbit. Like Gina's like, I got a big garden, 20 by 100, 5 egg layer chickens. I got 20 meat birds coming. Oh, I'm kind of jealous. I'm going to be starting meat birds. If I got to see about my work schedule and everything like that. And learning how to butcher them too. Like I've gone to take some, I've watched it done before, but I need to get the equipment for it before I get the meat birds. So a pot that I can have outside to be able to scald them so I can get the feathers off. And then I've kind of got to pretty much trial and error. Hopefully I don't like do anything wrong and like kind of go in there and actually like cut a bird open and do all that stuff, but I'll be like, I don't know if I'm going to show all that on RN Homesteading. I'm not sure how keen YouTube is about with slaughtering of animals live. It's usually a little bit better to just kind of do that a little bit off camera. But it's like I can explain the process. I can show the bird before and after. I just might not show the in between. I can talk about what I did in between. But yeah, I mean, I definitely want to get meat birds coming. I have a quarter of an acre of land that I am expanding on. I'm going to have corn and all this stuff growing on my property. My corn, I saw it. The name of it was just like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy this one. I want this corn. Because the corn name is called Gotta Have It. I'm like, I want to grow Gotta Have It. I gotta have it now. That's my first year getting meat birds too. Nice. Yeah, because I got 5 egg layers right now. Like I said, and all that good stuff. So, yeah. I mean, if you're into it, definitely give it a little subscribe up over there. And I do have a video over there. It's like kind of showing off the garden area and all that good stuff. Like homegrown corn is good. Yeah, brother. It's like I did it. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, nice, Ark. I will keep that in mind, my dude. Awesome. Grew up on a turkey farm. I've seen it done a few times. I've plucked chickens before. So you know, it's like, and I know how to. I'm not squeamish about slaughtering them in any way, shape, or form. It's just trying to pull out their internals without like nicking any of their internal organs as I'm like pulling it apart. Hold on 1 second here. Somebody wanting to come over and hang out, and I'm like, I'm live streaming. I'll call you when I'm done. For my peeps. It's like I was thinking about starting a little channel myself, just busy at the moment. Yeah, it can be. Yeah, it's like when you got a lot of like, oh my god, I'm like in the middle of like seed. Like I got a whole bunch of seeds to start here. Oh my lord! But I'll get it done. It'll be amazing. It'll be awesome. I'm gonna love it. And sometimes don't think about it that you got to do like what we'll end up probably doing with some of it. Like, you know, I might put a little commentary like as I'm setting up the camera or something like that, and just have the video going and just record it, you know, and then upload it and document what you're doing. Somebody will probably think it's pretty cool. They're like, oh wow, this guy's like really going at it. Nice. I have a fan on them. I have fans blowing at the rack, and I'm bottom feeding the seedlings. Gene's like, I was thinking of that too. It's sometimes the easiest thing. Don't pretend the camera's not even there and just get to work. Put the camera on, turn it on, just start working. You don't have to say anything. I know, I got some nice grow lights on them. I mean, I started my cabbage like weeks ago, so they're doing good now, and they're all purple looking. If you go over on the RN Homesteading, I'm going to be like starting to do a small little regimen of like doing some shorts and stuff like that. So you guys get into the shorts at all, definitely have like my 1 minute shorts for RN Homesteading, giving seedling updates, all that good stuff, chicken updates over there. I'm going to get back into the regimen on that. That'll be really cool to sit there and grow that channel. And not going to slack over here either. So it's like I just needed to transition with the way that my job was set up. Now that that's all a lot better now, and I'm not so stressed out about what's going on at work, now I can sit there and refocus over here too. And then also for hardening the plants, before I go to actually plant them outside, I will be bringing them outside for a few hours a day to kind of cold harden them a little bit too. Heck yeah. I just switched over for where I was working at. So now I'm working for a good buddy of mine who just bought a mechanic shop and absolutely needed a master mechanic to come in. Oh yeah, got to get the honeydew list done. 100%. Got to get the house in order. You got to have storage space for all that delicious food you're about to make. And are you doing canning and fermenting? Are you doing are you fermenting anything that you collect? This way, you keep all the good nutrients there without cooking it out. Or you're just doing straight canning so it's nice and shelf stable. Hey, what's up, Tomasto? Hello from Poland. What's up, my dude? What up, Tom? So, let's go ahead and get into a little bit of tech stuff here before I sign out. I mean, this is a tech channel a bit too. I mean, kind of went through all the Bitcoin stuff and started showing my new channel. So if you guys get into like I said, all that homesteading stuff, go check it out on RN Homesteading. That's my new channel. And it's not like I'm not going to stop doing this. So don't think that either. So let's go ahead and dig into some of this awesome tech stuff here. Yo, Asus Pro Art case by Ziki. I think that's how you spell it, pronounce it. I could be wrong. But a total custom chassis tailored specifically for the Asus Pro Art GPUs that has been produced by a Chinese company known as Ziki, as showcased on Bilibili. The case precisely designs the fit to the Pro Art GPU series, and I actually love how this thing is really set up on here, really clean. Not something that you want to have like an animal by or anything like that, but what I like about this for mining wise, right? Of course, I've got to sit there and dig into this and be like, hey, look, can I mine on this? So because of the orientation of how this GPU is sitting, that you have exhaust going up vertical to the top of the GPU and going down with the vertical fin stack. With it in this orientation, it's horizontal, but portion of the airflow is going to blow down towards the case itself, and then portion of it is blowing out the top, right? So what's nice about that is that this GPU is always grabbing nice, clean, fresh air. So this thing would actually benefit. This is almost like sitting there and running this in an open air frame. But it's a single GPU. Basically an open air frame. And it's clean, guys. I mean, look how clean it is. No stupid connector out the top of this thing. They actually reorientated everything to be able to be this clean of a fitment. So definitely customized stuff that you would not normally see anywhere else. I mean, bam, look at that. Now I'm hoping that this little slit that's below the fans is where the exhaust goes from the GPU breathing out. Tom is like, how much? Oh my God. This thing, like, it's brand new. I don't think that this is, the seller expects the shipping to start late April, mid-May. So right now it's at 3,599 RMB. Which is about $500. So definitely not a cheap case. And it is running a 4060. It can include models from a 4080 to a 4060, being what's exposed. Probably the $500 marker. I don't think that's going to be the correct price. So I would kind of wait until the availability actually comes out. I would think that this, especially if it's got a 4080 in there, I would think that this case would probably be like a $1,200 to a $1,500 case plus shipping. And it's going to be a pre-built, low quantity on this too. So if this thing actually comes out with a 4060 in there for $500 to $800, expect to see it on the secondhand market instantaneously for double the price. So that would be my opinion on that. So if you're able to get your hands on it, cool. But be wary on that one. But it looks like between April, mid-May. So coming up here soon, We'll find out the actual real price on there. I think this is some speculation behind there. So just kind of take that with a grain of salt, guys, that I do not believe that this is final pricing on a 4060 being at $500. I mean, considering that if we were to look at a 4060, I mean, you could, depending, I mean, being Asus though, hold on here, Asus 4060, right? You're looking at a $300 GPU minimum, and that's for a 4060. You're going to be looking at, it's up here, $304 for a 3060, and that's not going to be a limited edition one. So I think the GPU for a 4060 starts off, just the GPU by itself is probably $500. If I had to take a small guess, I could be wrong. But if I were to take my guess that Asus's dual fan is going for $304, their let's see here, what was that other one? The 4060 Strix is going for $400. The ProArt's got to be going for about $500 by itself for a 4060. Has to be. I would be amazed if this thing is going for the $500 for anything less than the GPU. But once this comes out, the card's gonna perform. So whether you're gaming on this thing or whether you are mining on it, this GPU is gonna have the best possible chance possible for having great performance because of the amount of air it's getting. Now, keep that in mind that you don't want to have animals or children by it because it doesn't look like there's any fan guards over the GPU. Which means that, you know, anything that gets curious about, hey, what's that spinning thing? You know, and they get their finger buzzed, they break the fan blades off on this thing, you're not going to have a good day. So kind of keep that in mind too, guys. Keep that in mind. And of course here, guys, we got new memory coming on board, guys. GDDR7 from Samsung's. GDDR6, that's yesterday. Oh, we have GDDR7 now. I would be really curious now to see who implements this first on what line. Is NVIDIA now going to make a new 50 series? Is this what they were waiting for to be able to make their 50 series? Are they now in production on their 50 series? I mean, you got to think, if Intel, I know for a fact that Intel is about 6 to 8 generations ahead of current gen on hardware that they're testing, right? How far ahead are the GPU manufacturers on what they're testing? And are they waiting for this to continue testing? Because usually, I mean, I usually see some kind of whispering, rumors, patents being pulled whenever they're getting ready for the next batch GPUs. And I really haven't been watching a lot of that going down. So we're definitely going to be looking at new hardware that's probably going to get announced soon, guys. Whether it's just going to be a refresh of the current gen stuff going, oh, look, it's a Ti, but super now with GDDR7 memory. Something stupid like that, right? Just to milk you for a little bit more money. Like, why is GDDR compared to DDR evolving so fast? They started nearly at the same time on low-end graphics cards and was DDR. Well, the DDR you see a lot of that stuff went more for the processor side. That was never fast enough. That was some of the early day limitations of DDR memory possibilities. The speeds are just too low. Fine for CPUs. That's why it doesn't matter. But the GDDR, they haven't hit the wall of Moore's law, where they can only go so fast with so much technology. They're having some breakthroughs on. So, how can I put it? There was a breakthrough last year, I want to say, on. Was it last year? No, it was the year before. So 2 years ago. 2 years ago, it was how they got the GDDR6 memory modules to go to 2 gigabyte. They learned a stacking technique for the chipsets. And that freed up something inside of the chipset and allowed them to optimize something, I think, for the GDDR7. And I bet you they shortened the pathways and it made it faster. Yo, what up, New England Crypto? What's up? Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god, Edo Ram. Oh, yeah. All that good stuff, man. It's like, I remember a big hard drive back in the day. It was like, what, 250 megabyte, 250 megabytes or 256 megabytes, something like that. What up, Crypto Dave? What's up? Like, God, yeah, it's like I've been I've played around with computers off and on since the late 80s ish. Apple II was the first computer I played with. With a real dial-up modem. You took the actual phone receiver that, the phones that plugged into the wall that had an extension, it had a cord, a curly cute cord that you could walk around the house and kill somebody with because it would wrap around their neck and just suffocate them because you keep walking. Yeah, you put that onto this little modem and it would make all those weird noises. Kids will never know the original freaking. They think of it as the fax machine noise, and it's like, no, it actually started with computers. But I'm a little old. Oh my God, Oregon Trail, yeah, classic, absolute classic. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I love that stuff, man. Yours was a 2 gig hard drive. Oh yeah, I remember those ones. Buying CD burners, 700 megabytes, freed up 30% of the hard drive. Yeah. Classics. Like, I never did make it in that game. Yeah, neither did I. I always died of dysentery. So, the floppies, the 5 1/4s. Oh, super floppy. Me too, Chuck. I never paid for it either. Yeah, you know you're old when you're talking about it like the good old times. That's when life was simpler. Day was a day. Men were men and women were women. back in my day. So, but yeah, getting back on topic here, but the GDR7 definitely gonna be. I'm waiting for it to come out. Chips will feature at 28 to 32 gigabytes, with a potential of even faster 37 gigabytes of memory in the future. So this is just gonna be first gen. So there'll probably be GDDR7, and get this, I know, mind blowing, GDDR7X. That's just bin chips versus non-bin chips, guys. Don't get hung up on the X means it's better. No, they're just highly bin chips. So you got to think of how many chips are they getting rid of that don't meet the X variant that NVIDIA is looking for, and think about why their GPUs are a little bit more money. The memory is cheap, guys. It's not that like it's huge money, but when you're binning a whole bunch of them and just like getting rid of chips, that becomes expensive. So capacity, 2 gigabytes. You'd be looking at faster speeds, 28 gigabytes rumored for the RTX 50 series. So that's what I was talking about. Less voltage, and that's again like I was saying, if they figured out a way to be able to make the pathways just a little bit smaller over last generation, you should be able to use less power. You'll have improved efficiency because your data transfer is happening in a shorter run, and you're going to have a definite thermal reduction of temperature, which is going to keep the chipset more optimized. Is HBM still expensive? HBM memory, first gen, no. They're coming out with HBM3 memory as of now, or it should be coming out soon. I haven't looked into the HBM memory in a little bit, but I do know that they are supposed to have HBM3 coming out soon, or it's already been released. Which, as the newer stuff comes out, of course, it's going to make the old HBM memory cheaper, but you're also going to be looking on more outdated memory, like the old school Vega lineups. You know, that was all HBM memory and HBM2. So, now I can stream as many videos simultaneously. Kids will never know the struggle of a Tuesday afternoon. Always. And that's why you're always going to have as you get more dense, you're going to have a heat problem unless you make your pathways, you shrink your pathways down that actually moves the electricity, because the utilization of each watt going through there is where all the heat's going in, because the atoms have friction just moving through the little itty bitty tiny little wiring that goes in there, and the membranes that the power goes through. It's wild to sit there and see cross sections and how they explain what I'm looking at. It's like, oh, you kind of, I want to say I understand it, but I'm kind of lost at the same time. This is amazing. But like with the HBM memory, because it's so dense, and they had to park the HBM memory as close to the VGA core as humanly freaking possible, you have a lot of heat being generated in a very small amount of time. That's why there was such a failure rate on the Vega lineup, where you would, code 56 or code 40, whatever the code 47, whatever it is, that the Vega lineup would always freaking throw, because HBM memory took a nosedive, cracked the die, and it was done. And it was just because, and it was really, like, once you understood what was going on with it, it was like, oh, now I get it. And it took Red Panda a little bit to understand, and I think I figured it out right around the same time that Red Panda started figuring it out. I was sitting there talking with them over it, and I'm like, I wonder if it's a heat problem. Like, you can't just turn these suckers off. and he had a power failure, and one of his Vega 7s didn't fire back up, and it was one of the rare ones. And it's because it powered down, never cooled down. So it was like, in order to power down a Vega, you've got to let the thing like cool down to an idle state before you turn them off. Otherwise, there's so much heat coming off that HBM memory that it just heat soaks the whole radiator die system, and until it just you have runaway thermals. Thank you, Chuck. Code 43. Thank you. I forget the code because I don't have any of the Vega lineup. I've played with Vegas, but I've never actually owned one. So there's that. But yeah, code 43. That's the one. Thank you, Chuck. But yeah, it was just an idea that it was heat soaking and dying, and then Red Panda started letting those things get to an idle state before you unplugged them, and he stopped having problems with them breaking. I don't know if he's still running those suckers. I don't see anything being profitable like mining on them, especially since he's in Canada. He pays expensive power rates. The MEM and the core are too close, and it causes the chip to yeet itself and detach. Yeah, exactly. Close allows high sockets. Yeah. I've seen them cracked, and I've seen them lift up. So I've seen them both directions for sure. I've just, like I said, I've never had one myself to actually like play with it. But good God, I wouldn't want to have a sacrificial piece. It's like, make some e-waste with it. And we're starting to get some, like, you want to see some deals, guys? Here's seems to be a decent one. 7900 XTX for $900. Getting yourself an MSI for $900 on a 7900 XTX. Good cooling on this thing. It's a chunk, pretty chunky. Good performance on there, and you don't pay the NVIDIA tax on having a high performance card. I don't mind the MSI and the AMD platforms myself. They seem to do fairly well. On the AMD platform, you just don't see the gigantic heat loads that are just unable to be handled by the cooler itself. Which I expect to see this card come down as we come in the summertime. So we're going to be able to, I would sit there probably say by the end of summer, I would not be surprised if we were to see like a $650 USD MSI 7900 XTX just for them to try to move it, which would, and if they do that, that's going to signal that we have the 8000 series that's going to be dropping out, which means that NVIDIA is going to have the 50 series dropping out soon. So I think that'll be like that canary in the coal mine when we see them trying to offload these things in a hurry. What they're doing right now is they're incrementally dropping the prices of everything and see at what point do buyers start buying. Is it at 800? How about 850? How about at 750? At what point do they start moving and selling? Because when they start selling again, they're going to hold the price right there until the sales drop off again. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just a nice classic business tactic, which is fine. You're blowing inventory off your shelf. You're not really in full production anymore. And you like to drop your inventory load before getting geared up into the next series. So, I think that we're going to start seeing it. A lot of these prices, as they come down, is going to signal the next gen coming out. And then I'm gonna wonder if we're gonna see any of these cards coming out as mining specific cards. But that would also signal that we're also in a mining bull run for at least GPUs. And I'm not sure if we're gonna get one anytime soon. At least a mining bull run where you can put together a potato of a PC and have it make you a bunch of money. I don't know if that's going to be possible. Chuck's like, I got MI50s. Nervous to crack them up. I think I had one die last week. Haven't had the willpower to mess with it yet. Oh. Oof. Oh, God, I'd be really nervous, too. Got one that died. I mean, might as well bite the bullet and do it. That sucks still. Oh. I've still got to crack one of my What's miners open and figure out why I have a hash board that's not being happy. I have a hash board that's screaming temperatures, but I have a feeling I know what the problem is. It's a What's Miner M30++. There's a little card that goes in between all the hash boards. As long as there's no damage on the hash boards and nothing really happened there, I bet you I can just play around with that little board or replace that little board. Like a lot of people say that the little bridging board that they put on there is kind of janky at best. End up going ahead and replacing that. But my gosh, we are definitely over that 1 hour marker, guys. Thank you everybody for being here and all that good stuff. Definitely smash that Liberty like button, subscribe, hit bell notification, all that good stuff. If you guys are into homesteading, like I was saying, definitely go ahead and check out RN Homesteading. Go give that a follow. That's going to be me and my wife over there. If you guys get into any of that stuff, definitely drop some FAs in the Chizity chat. All that good stuff, because you guys are rated F for freaking awesome. Yo. Thank you, everybody, for being here. All that good stuff. Check out some of the links down below. Got a Discord. It is free to join. If you guys want to help out what I do here on the backside, get some behind-the-scenes knowledge, definitely check out Patreon. Got some links down below if you guys want to join that. Thank you, Sadie. Yo, was working, lurking. Yo, happy hashing, everyone. For sure, Sadie. So, with that being said, thank y'all for being here. Peace out. Stay savage. And may your watts be low and your hash be high. I'll definitely see you on the next one. Yo.